Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the Internet Business School's Saturday School. I hope you're all well and staying out of this hot, nasty weather we've been having. We've been blown away here this week down in Sussex, wherever I'm based. This is Norris from the Internet Business School. I'm the business manager. We've just got a few more people joining. Okay, and I hope you can all hear me. If you can just pop in the chat box just to say. Hello, Colin, good morning. Hi, Jerry. Tony, hi, welcome. Lovely. Oh, I sound okay. Thanks, Jerry. Brilliant. Okay, there's just a few more people joining all the time. That's brilliant. Okay, let's just go with a few more people on. Hi, Neville, welcome. Hi, Andrew. Okay, right. Saturday school. This is my first Saturday school. So this is going to be a bit of fun, a little bit different, because I'm going to be dealing with some bit of sort of techie tools, really, because I'm based in the office, and the office is all about looking after people and automation. Okay, so what we're looking today is to cover sort of what is automation and why you should be looking at it, why you should be using it, and you know what benefits it's going to have for you. Okay, I'm going to go through a few free tools, okay, that you could find really, really useful. Okay, and they're expandable as well, that you can use in lots and lots of different ways. Okay, and they're pretty easy to get to grips with. Okay, and then after about 45 minutes an hour, we'll have a little bit of a break, and then we'll be having Mr. Ben Mariner coming on to talk to us through some Facebook training. Okay, so I haven't put my camera on today because notoriously when I on a Zoom call, as soon as I put the camera on, the bandwidth goes. So there's a nice picture of me in a different weather. Okay, and just my short bit of background. I've now worked for Simon for over 5 years. I started work for him when he was at Darling Buds Farm. I did all the farm bookings and systems controlled there, and then started working for the Internet Business School when we were just sort of working out of small offices around the farm. And it's been a busy, wild ride working with Simon because it never stops. Okay. Before that, before I joined Simon, I originally came from restaurants and hotels. For 20 odd years, I used to run some big restaurants in London and out in shopping centres, a lot of branded restaurants, which were sort of really fast paced, lots of staff, and lots of systems and information that one had to control. And we used sort of automation kind of all the time in restaurants, but sort of human automation. The sort of aim in restaurants was that, you know, if you could cut a few seconds off every single repetitive task, the net gain from that across a long period of time, a shift, was a whole load of extra time. Okay, so we used to look at sort of ways that we could make things better and make things more efficient. And there's a kind of automation, but with people. Okay. So I kind of used that sort of background when I came into Internet Business School to try and improve all the systems and to make sure that people got all the information that they needed when they bought something, when they signed up for an event. And when I kind of first joined, there was a lot of sort of labor intensive, you know, sending out emails and messages and joining instructions on a sort of repetitive basis, which was, you know, okay, but a bit of a drag. And as we got busier and busier, you know, bits and pieces like that, there must be a better way of doing it. So generally, over the years, we've introduced new systems and in the background, which allows me effectively for most of our transactions, I kind of don't do much. It sort of sits there in the background. and takes care of itself. Okay, so which is great because it gives us more time to actually look after customers and make sure that people have got everything they need and answer questions, and also have time to make things better all the time. Okay, so oh yeah, we're based down in Hastings, looking out over the sea. So I've got an amazing view out the office. This is the obligatory entrepreneurs working from home laptop lifestyle pictures, all just taken on my phone. But I wish it looked that sunny today, but no chance. Okay, so let's crack on. Okay, so we're getting a bit of an idea of what I might mean by automation. It's kind of putting systems in place which bypass the need for human work. And they're all based on the scenario of, it's called if. So if this happens, then I need to do that. If this, then that. And that's the basis of kind of all internet based automations. Okay, it's looking at a kind of like a trigger event, something that's going to happen, and then putting in place a follow-up that takes that job or that task or that step automatically without any human intervention. Okay, and not having human intervention is great for 99% of the time, because you're less likely to have mistakes, especially when you're dealing with lots and lots of information flying in from all sources. Okay, so effectively, yeah, we have that dream of having a paperless office. So I've got sort of filing files on my shelves which are kind of like gathering dust, because we just don't really use them anymore. Especially kind of with COVID, when we're not doing live events, where we're not seeing people face to face and not getting people to fill out paper forms. I've got kind of no need for them. So over the last sort of year or so, a lot of our forms have been built into digital versions, which kind of streamlines the process, and also it gives me that sort of clean data and clean data flows behind the scenes, which makes analysis of what people are buying and what people's behaviors are and what people like. It makes it so much easier, and it gives you a bigger data set to analyze. Okay, but kind of the main thing for me is it saves us a whole load of time. So when I first started working for Internet Business School, there were sort of 2 or 3 of us in the office, and the phone didn't ring very often back then, and I think we sort of had a few thousand people running through our courses at any one time. But in the last couple of years, we've sort of doubled the number of people that we've been serving. So I think we're over sort of 12,000 students now who are going through courses. And honestly, I probably have less work in terms of the sort of day-to-day operations now than I did back then, which Simon has noticed and then given me a whole load of extra stuff to look after and do. So effectively, because in the office, I'm the guy that just sort of looks after pretty much everything. So I'm looking after all the members area, the course sites, Kajabi, building new courses. I'm looking after all the payments. I'm looking after all the customer contacts, all the emails, review sites, payment sites, building new carts, just everything. It all funnels through us. And basically we do that with 2 of us. There's myself and my wife, Nikki, just running all those systems. And that's pretty much all down to automation and me, out of necessity, putting in place things to make this job achievable. Okay, So that's really the sort of the whole linkage of what I do down in the office, and it's making sure that everything is automated, but also sort of automated with customers in mind. You know, not just automated for the sake of automation. Okay. So you've all done automation. You've all seen it. You've all been involved in it. Okay, and it happens all the time. Okay, and the main place that you're going to see it is probably in your email inbox. So you're forever getting emails to say, oh, you bought this. Would you like to leave a review? Okay, or we noticed you looked at this item in your cart and you haven't bought it. Do you want to go back and buy it? Okay, those are all automations. Chatbots are automations. There's no human involved there. It's just a system that looks at your yes/no answers and then takes you on to the next stage. You've all been involved in automations when you signed up to Saturday School. Because remember, you went to one of our web pages and you filled out this form. Okay, and that wasn't us in the office then sort of taking those forms and writing them all out and putting them on a spreadsheet and then entering you into Zoom and then saying, hey, send someone an email. Okay, and then every week you're getting messages to say what's coming up next and next week. It's all done in the background without any need for me to get involved. Okay, so what I'm going to look through is some sort of simple automation tools that will help you figure out, use a system or a way to do these things yourself. Okay, so with the Saturday School registrations, okay, what we've actually done in that form on your web page is we've used an app called JotForm. Okay, and that's kind of what I'm gonna show you most of how JotForm works and how you can use it coming up next. Okay, now JotForm you can do for free, which is great, and you can, there's paid versions of it as well. Okay, but it's a great one to start. Okay, and it's really, really flexible. So when you sign up with that form in our website, that's sending the information through JotForm. Okay, and JotForm has got automations in the background that I've set up, which sends a message to Zoom and says, hey, this person is joining up on the Saturday School webinar. Can you sign them up and send them their link so they know how to get onto the meeting each week, and also to send you a reminder each week, just in case. And that just happens automatically as soon as you press submit on that form. We also have a linkage through to Ontraport, which is Ontraport is our sort of main customer relationship management system. Okay, so we need something a bit sort of more Rolls-Roycey to look after the number of customers we have and all the systems we've got going on. So we do our email marketing out of there, and we've got all your information is on there, and we also kind of are starting to build up a bit more knowledge about you, about what you've bought, and we try and find out what you like and what your behaviors are. Do you click on a lot of emails? Do you open our emails? We can see how often you're doing that as well. So we're looking at that sort of to give us a lot more sort of information about all our customers. Okay, so we need to know in our database, in our Ontraport database, that you have signed up for Saturday School. So we send a message across when you fill out that form straight to Zoom, also to Ontraport, And then there's also information flowing back and forth between Zoom and Ontraport each weekend. Okay, so of when we're sending you the next okay. Hey, Simon Piano, can you not send bits and pieces into the chat, please? That's very kind of you. Thank you. Okay. It's not what we're here for. So I'm just going to turn that section off. Sorry, folks. Let's concentrate on what I'm saying. And I'll talk to you after school, Mr. Piano. Okay. Now, back on the side here. Okay. Back in Ontraport, okay, I've got lots of different campaigns floating around. Okay. And it's sort of all based on behaviors of people with their emails and what their purchases are. Okay. And also based on events going on as well. Okay. And I use all that information to kind of tag each of our contacts and use that to sort of step people through to different stages of processes. Okay, so it's quite complicated, but it also, you know, once I've worked out the logic of everything, it's all just happening in the background without me having to get involved. So it makes my life really easy. Okay, so in a moment we're going to have a look at JotForm. Okay, now say you can start JotForm for free. Okay, and you kind of have sort of introductory limits. You can run up to sort of 5 forms and have 100 monthly subscriptions. But it is worth, you know, if you're running a busier office, to go to, you know, you can step up to one of the sort of paid accounts. Okay, and they're a bit of a heads up on those is actually a really good time to look at these is around Black Friday, because there are so many deals flying around for discounted rates. Okay, and you can get at least sort of 50% off your upgrade prices on a lot of software around Black Friday. Okay. You'll also notice when you if you sign up to JotForm the first time, it will come up with hey, you've got a 50% off deal that disappears in a day. Okay. Now I tested this earlier on in the week, and it does indeed disappear in a day. So if it is something you find that you want to do, then it's worth you know, upgrading. You know, £12 a month gives you a lot of functionality, which I'm going to show you in a moment. Okay, so I'm just going to jump out of the slides. Okay, and then pop you across to sorry, just one moment. Let's go with that. Share this screen. Right. Okay. Where's my green board again? Okay. Let's just see which screen you have. Normally have a green border around what I'm sharing, and I can't quite see it at the moment. Sorry about this. One moment. Let's have another little go. So many windows open on here running all working. It's great. Right, this top 3. Right. So hopefully here you can see my JotForm page. Okay, and this is for the Internet Business School side. Okay, and I have an awful lot of forms flying around that I use for lots of different reasons. Okay, I can use them for surveys and event feedback forms. I've built them to do contracts for people, application forms, registration forms, you name it, there's a way of doing it. Okay, now the great thing about JotForm is the number of integrations that you can put into them. Okay, now you can create a form that you can take payments through. So you could link to Square or PayPal or Stripe. You could go cardless in there. There's loads and loads of different ways that you can connect. Okay. In fact, there's over 100 different easy apps. Okay. I can connect to my Google Drive. You can go to some of these I haven't even heard of. Pitch. We can link things directly to Gmail and Aweber, get response. There's a whole load of applications you can do to build yourself up. There's also an awful lot of templates as well that are kind of like pre-built. For some reason, people sort of pre-build them and then accidentally share them with everyone else, which you can turn off in your settings. Okay, but you know, we can kind of look at a form that someone else has built to put into their website to order some dresses, and there we are. You can pay straight away, submit order. So if you haven't got you know, a full website, you can build your own sort of almost like a mini landing page. Okay, so it's not going to be a hosted page, but it could be a link that you send out to a customer via email. Okay, there are so many contact forms, payment forms, sign up forms. Right, the choice is huge. So, main question is, how does it work? Right, so let's have a look at creating a form. So I can either create a form from the template, okay, or I can actually import an existing form. Okay, so if you had a form, you know, either in PDF or Word, you can upload that form, and JotForm will try and convert it into its format. So it can be really powerful for you know, creating or to bring across existing content that you've got. Okay? But if I want to start from scratch, okay, I've got two options. Okay, and I can do the classic form, which is just a whole row, a sort of continuous row of questions, or you can do a card form that says, you know, goes from one page to the next, okay? Depending on which sort of format you would like. Okay? So let's just have a look at a classic form. Just build that one up. That I can recognise there's a few questions coming in as we go along. I'll kind of catch up with some of those in a while. Okay, just while this page is building, Peter asks, is JotForm like MailChimp? No, it's not really like MailChimp. Okay, so you're looking at JotForm as a kind of literally as forms. It's for bringing information in from a person, okay, into your systems, either for payments or data. Okay, and they're sort of systems that you can either email out to people as a link, or you can actually sort of embed them in your web page. So, and there's a lot of power into it. Okay, Pauline, it's a little bit like SurveyMonkey, but it does more. Okay, when it decides to load. This is me having Zoom on with a lot of you on here. It's just which is always great for live telly. Okay. There we are. I'm nearly there, hopefully. I wasn't talking to everybody. This would be happening really quickly. I promise. Right, Mirren, yeah, you can make it connect to JotForm to make it connect to WordPress. Okay, you can connect it to blogs. You can use, as I'll show you, hopefully in a while, that you can actually get some embed code for these forms and put them into your website. Okay, hooray. Okay, sorry about that. Took a little bit longer. Okay, so here we start with a basic form. Okay, and I think today, just to sort of show things around, I'm just going to do Saturday School survey to find out. You know, I want to find out a little bit what people think about Saturday School. You know, what you'd like us to cover, or more importantly, what you'd like me to cover in future Saturday schools. Okay, so we're going to do this live. Right, so this is my Saturday School survey. Above the top, I can put in my logo to make my form look pretty. I don't really want it off to the side, so I can just center it and close that side. Right, so you see it down the left-hand side here. Okay, we've got some basic form elements. Okay, and this is kind of like a bit of a drag and drop builder. Okay, so I can put a header in, I can ask for people's full name, email address, date pickers. We can get an appointment date, we can put in a signature. So there's lots of stuff in here, captures, spinners, we can have tables. Okay. So lots of basic elements here. And here we've got the various payment options that we could get on if I wanted to pay some money to fill in my survey. A bit unfair, Saturday School is free. Okay, so you can see just from scrolling down this list, there are an awful lot of options that you can put into your payment connections. Okay. And then one of the best options we've got for building up a lovely form are the widgets. Okay, widgets are brilliant. We're going to use a couple of them today to make our form look really good. Okay, they're kind of like pre-built WYSI sections that will go into our form. Okay, so let's just start by setting up some basic information. Okay, so we're going to do a survey. So it's always really good to drag across to ask people what their name is. Okay, Right, so our first question when people appear is going to be your name. So first name, last name. Okay. Each of the question sections, okay, has a properties section, okay, where you can sort of define a little bit more about the box. You can say whether it's required or not. Okay. So I'm not going to make it required for this. You can change the sub-labels under the box. Okay. You can ask it to get a middle name or a prefix or a suffix. And you can also sort of change the names of the placeholders. Okay, so the placeholder is just what would appear inside the box before you've entered your information. Okay, so we don't really need it for this one. So nice and simple. First name there. Okay, we're then going to drop in an email address so that we know where the submissions come from. Okay, so make that required. It's fine. Right, and you might want to put in today's date, although you know the submission is going to, when it comes through to us, it will have the sort of date when people have sent something through. Right, so we might want to just put in a little bit of writing. Okay, actually we might put that in at the top. Okay, just to explain to people what the form is for. Okay, so it's nice and easy. Hi, please let us know what to see us cover in Saturday school. So, and you can make this as whizzy as you like. You can put images in here as well. All right, so you can have a bit of fun designing your form. Okay, so if we're asking people for sort of survey questions, okay, we might want to first ask someone, might want to ask them, how many Saturday schools have you attended? Okay, just, you know, whether it's your first one or whether you've been to all of them. Okay, so how many schools? I think we're on week 9 now. Okay, so, and then we can just sort of write in the options, which I'm just going to do from the property box. Okay, so if we just do this one, 5 or more, and this is my first one. First. Two, and then we want 3 or 4, okay, and 5 or more. Okay, and you can add extra ones in here if you need to. Just put an enter in, and it adds an extra option down at the bottom. Okay, you could allow someone to put in an other box if they don't like any of your answers, which is probably not necessary on this question. Okay, we can kind of say that people can only put one answer in, because it wouldn't really make sense on this question to have more than one answer. Okay, or you can sort of shuffle questions. All right. Then we might want to say for people, okay, what other subjects do you want us to? Oh, actually, no. Let's just do something else. Let's just put a slider in. So we could put one of the widgets in numeric slider. Okay. So this is going to say, right, have you enjoyed Saturday school so far? Okay. Right, so we can then do a quick widget setting. Okay, 0 to 100. We can set a default value of 50. Well, I'm sure 70 would be better. Okay. And in a moment, we can also then change the sort of labels as well. This one, sorry, I haven't used this one. What's it called? Delete that. Enjoy school. I'll catch up with my typing. And with a bit of time, you could add in the sort of, 0 is nothing. There's other sliders you could find which are sort of not at all, or yes, or a lot. Okay, just doing this really quickly. Okay, so we'll get rid of that one. And we will then go back and say, right, maybe we'll just add a bit of short text. Okay, and just say, hey, what other subjects would you like us to cover? Okay. So you can go on and add as many questions as you like. Okay. With a bit of practice as well, you can then go to the settings side of the form, and you can, tell JotForm who it's going to email when people send in their applications. So you'd want to we get a notification through to the office when someone fills out one of our form, or I can add so extra people if Simon needs to get notified. I can add him in as well. I can do conditional logic. Okay, I haven't got time to quite show you this. Okay, but it's sort of based on, if someone asks a question one way, then show them another question. Or if they haven't answered a question yet, hide some extra parts of the form. You can change a thank you page at the end to either just being a sort of a default page, or you can redirect the form to an exterior link. Okay, and then we've got the sort of cool part in JotForm that we've got extra integrations that we can add in. Okay, so for this one, I'm just going to add your submissions to our Google Sheets. Okay, let's create, I've already linked to this JotForm through to my drive, which is really quick and easy. Okay, and I'm just going to ask it to create a new spreadsheet with the answers that come through. Okay, so I don't have to transpose any information at all. It's just going to come through automatically to one of my spreadsheets in Google Drive. Okay, and that will update every time someone puts a submission in. Okay, so this is also sort of places where I could link into Zoom as well and say, hey, this person, I want them to sign up to join this webinar or join this meeting if they fill out this form. Okay, and I can also do links through to my CRM system as well to say, hey, send a note that this person's filled out this form, and change their tags against their name to say that they filled out this form. Okay, there's a brand new system here for approval flows. Okay, this JotForm is so big now that you could use it to run a big company. So like an HR company or an HR office in a big company you could do a holiday request form on here that then flows through to the line manager of a staff member. And if then that's approved by the line manager, it will send it to HR to mark on their records and then send back to the employee to say that their holiday request has been granted. So there's a stupid amount of functionality. Okay, so we've kind of got our basic form done. Okay, we can just do a quick preview of it. No, it's nice and easy. Okay, you can view how it appears on a tablet as well or a phone, just to see if you need to make any tweaks, but that will do for us. Okay, so then we need to get this form out to people. Okay, so I've got basically just a link. When you create a form, it creates a link. Okay, I could edit that link to make it sort of go off my sort of account username, so JotForm Internet Business School Office, but that's not really necessary. Okay, on the embed side, I could take this script and put it inside a web page, which is what we did for the Internet Business School Saturday School logger format. You can put an iframe, a pop-up, a light box. Okay, there's loads. Or I could just email it to someone. And for some of them, you can create a sort of a fillable PDF form to send to people. Okay, and the third-party publish options. Yes, there's WordPress.org, WordPress.com. Put it to Facebook as well. So I think, you know, there's kind of a lot going on. Okay, but just for a sort of a quick share. Okay, I'm just going to take that link and we're going to send it off to you and put it in chat. But this link's a little bit messy. Okay, so what I'm just going to do is I'm just going to go into our bit.ly account. So you've probably all heard of bit.ly. There's a link shortener. It's another just simple free tool. Okay, where you can sign up and you can create links which are shorter and easier. Okay, so I have quite a few links in here over time. Okay, and the great thing about bit.ly is it tells me how many people have clicked on the link and when. Okay, so we have a link here that I created in April for Simon's Saturday School. Okay, which gave people the link to the YouTube channel. Okay, which is where we kind of put the videos of these next week. Okay, so you can catch up on previous events. Okay, so you know, instead of sending people this crazy long link, you just need to put in bit.ly Simon's Saturday School. Okay. Yes, and Matthew, I will show you quickly how we create that link and we can change it. Okay, so I'm just going to click on create, and I hope you can see this, but I paste the long link in there. Okay, and bit.ly comes back with bit.ly comes back and says, yeah, do you know what? I can shorten that to a smaller link. Okay, and what I can do is I can customize that link. So on the free account, you can customize a few links. Okay, so instead of 347 LG V4, okay, you can try and create your own link. Okay, but what the restriction on this is if someone else ever in the history of Bitly has used that link or that name, you can't use it. Okay, so you're unlikely to be able to just write in here saying my survey, because someone else would have used that before. Okay, so if I do Roger's Saturday survey, let's make sure there's no space in it. Okay, and if I put save in there, okay, yeah, no one has ever called their link Roger's Saturday survey before, which is really cool. Right, and then I've just copied that link, save it. Okay, and there it is in the chat box for you guys. Okay, so it's a nice simple process. So you can click on that link and fill everything out and give me some answers. Yeah, because I'd love to hear some ideas of what people would like to cover. All right. So JotForm is going to takes a little bit of time. Okay, just to get to know. There's some great help videos as well. All right. Everyone before you has already tried to, they've asked the question that you want to ask. Okay, so it's easy just to go into the help files. Okay, and just ask what you want to do in the user guide or the forum. Okay, they're really quite useful. All right, so here's my Saturday School survey. I've had no submissions yet. Okay, but we'll do that in the break. I'll ask you guys to fill out the form. Okay, and then when we come back from the break, I'll show you very quickly the results and how you can analyze the results of a form. Okay, because okay, in one of my previous forms, let's just open it for a customer survey. I can generate some form analytics and view reports from all the data that's been submitted. Okay, so it's really, really powerful. Okay, so lovely. Apparently people are sending in forms already, which will come in a moment. Okay. So we'll have a look at those in a moment. Okay, so let's just do one or two questions and then we'll go for a quick cup of tea for 10 minutes. Okay, while you can hopefully fill in that form. Okay, so just one or two questions. Peter, I was asking if Bitly tells you who has clicked. No, it doesn't tell you who's clicked. Okay, it just tells you that someone has clicked. Okay, Stella was asking how long the links for Saturday School are available to rewatch. Hey, they're on YouTube. Okay, they're there forever. So that's a nice simple answer. Marin, is the data analysis available on the free plan? Yeah, I believe it is. Okay, you're just limited on the free plan of kind of how many people can use your form. Okay, so you're not going to be able to pop it into a big busy website for free. Okay, so if I just have a quick look at the pricing here, you'll be able to see a little bit more of the information. I think on the free forms, it allows you to have, I think it's 100 monthly submissions. Yeah. Okay. So it's not for sort of large scale, but actually, if you those of you who are not looking at business, you could actually see maybe how you could use this to, I don't know, organize a staff party, or to have a, who's having what at the Christmas dinner, and you would just have everyone's information. You could ask people, if they had any allergies or if they had any tweaks on a dish, and you'd just be able to have all that information, you know, pretty much on your phone in the restaurant, and go, yeah, there's this number of starters, this number of mains. You could use it for wedding invitations. You could use it for lots of different ways. Okay. So yeah, so if you get more busy and more reliant on JotForm, then yeah, you're going into the paid plans. Okay, I say, you know, you can get, I don't want to downgrade. No. Okay, so I think we're on a silver plan at the moment, because it was a bit of a short jump up, and also I got it on a deal on Black Friday, when actually silver was cheaper than bronze. So I've got kind of a lot of flexibility that's going on. Okay. So, right, another few questions just coming for, can you delete forms when you're finished to keep the 5 allowance on a free line? Yeah, essentially, yeah. If you're not going to use that form again and don't want it to be in operation, just delete it and start again. Maria, what is the Hipaa compliance? Okay, I think that is for if you're in a medical setting where you're looking after, you know, confidential medical data. Someone will tell me if I'm right. I am. Okay, someone can Google it for me, but I'm pretty sure it's that for medical data reasons. Okay. Who else we got? John Hallam, is it best to start on video 1 on YouTube? Hey, you can start wherever you like. You know, it's we're adding content there all the time. I think as it gets busier there, we're probably going to go back and tag them a bit better, so that you can find out which presentations are about YouTube or business opportunities or mindset. Okay, so you can just use whichever videos, whichever recordings are good for you. You know, we're putting it all out there every Saturday, free information that you can action. Okay, Andrew, can you send email directly from JotForm? Does it need to be another application? Okay, so you could, can you send email directly from JotForm? I'm not quite sure what you mean by that. So, because I could actually link JotForm to probably my Gmail or my CRM system to say, hey, when someone's filled out this form, you could send someone this email to say thank you. So if that's kind of how, if that's answer your questions. You know, one of the other sessions I could do with you in the future, I could do Zapier, where you could link, and again, another one you can use for free, you know, where you could link your forms into, to send people a default email, and amongst other things. We use Zapier an awful lot. Okay. Right, and Raymond, is it possible to collect questionnaires from multiple team members and make average calculations? Yes. Yeah, that will be all in the analytics. Okay, you can download the sort of bulk report and then just sort of manipulate the data. There are some sort of, we'll show in a minute that there are some analytics which show how, you know, what on average people's reports are. What their feelings are. So yeah, it's really, really powerful. Okay, I'm wittering on, and I'm going to be eating into Ben's time. Okay, so if you want to go and grab a quick break, okay, and when you come back, it'll be Ben on the ball. All right, thank you very much. Any other questions, drop them in the chat. I'll be around for a little bit longer and sort of type back to you, okay? Right, that's lovely. Right, okay. And let me just get the slides back, and we'll see you in a little while.